Hey, coaches, welcome back to the Coaching Youth Football Tips and Talk podcast with Coach Parker. I'm your host. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Today, we've got another youth football terms vocabulary podcast. I've got another 13 terms that we'll go through. Let's see what I've got on here. Angle block, A gap, B gap, backdoor, sniffer, waggle, wham, wingback, second level, and a few others. So if you want to hear that, stay tuned. Before we get into it, please subscribe if you get a chance to your podcast service or YouTube. That really helps. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. If you get a chance, it helps me in the search results and on your podcast service to be more known. So thanks a lot. It's free, so please subscribe. All right, so let's jump in. This is the third episode in the Youth Football Terms Vocabulary podcast series. And so let's jump in. This will be kind of quick and easy. So the first term we've got is an angle block. And that's kind of what it sounds like. The offensive lineman is going to block either inside or outside at her angle on a defensive lineman. And that's what an angle block is called. So he'll just kind of open either inside or outside and block the guy in his inside or outside gap. So that's what that is. What's an A gap? Well, that's the gap between the center and the offensive guard. And there's a A gap on the left and an A gap on the right. So, and it's used a lot in defensive purposes and offensive purposes. I use it a lot to call audibles and things like that and give them crazy names. So, the next gap is a B gap. And that's the gap between the offensive guard and offensive tackle. The C gap is between the offensive tackle and the tight end. The D gap, and this is a pretty special gap area, actually is outside the tight end and or between the tight end and wing back. And I call this gap the dog, because it's really a good offensive gap to run to, because it puts the D end and sometimes a D tackle, outside linebacker, in conflict, because there's this weird gap there and it's kind of an overloaded kind of look. So that's the D gap. And then I call the E gap the area that's kind of outside the wing back. And I also go to F, which is kind of the gap that's at a slot spread area. So, you know, if the corner's out there, I'm running a wide sweep, that could be F. It's not really a gap, but it's an area, and I say that. Let's see. The next term is backdoor block. I've been using this a lot and just found it in an old book, which was quite surprising because, you know, I thought I'd kind of come up with the term, but nope. It's a block by an offensive lineman or a running back that they go to the backside of the play to cut off backside pursuit, so thus going to the back door and not getting in the way of the play action. So they just go to the backside to block, and that's the backdoor block. The next term here, it's number 8, is POA. If you hear that, that means point of attack. And that's like where the blockers would go and the running back, they're going to that area, that point of attack. Another term that comes up a lot is the sniffer or a blocking back. And the sniffer is kind of a fullback that's turned into more of a blocking back. And they're primarily used for blocking, and they're real close to the line of scrimmage, maybe behind the guard or the tackle, and he's kind of sniffing his buttocki, and because he's so close, he's kind of hidden there, and he's doing a lot of traps and kickouts on this power spread kind of stuff. So that's a sniffer. Let's see. The next term, number 10, is a waggle. And it's a type of bootleg that's the quarterback will reverse pivot out on a bootleg. And it's usually going to be a sweep option pass play. It comes from, I think, the wing T offense, and two guards may pull around on this bootleg type rollout to the backside, because all the backs have kind of gone one way, and the quarterback now is booting, waggling out to the other direction. And usually there's a drag pattern by the backside tight end, and maybe an out pattern by the play side tight end, and you got two guards that are out there. The quarterback will decide if he's going to run or he's going to sweep option and pass it. The next term, number 11, is wham, and I call this, I call a wham is my block by my wing back on an interior lineman. But it also could be a running back making a block on an interior lineman. But for me, it's when a wing back kind of comes back in toward the line of scrimmage, either through motion or he's just going to round up into like a C gap and lead on the linebacker. And I even call that, if he's leading on a linebacker, a wham. So, but that's what I call it. But usually it's a block by one of the running backs on an interior lineman. Now, what's a wing back? Well, a wing back is a running back that's aligned outside the tight end area, maybe in a 1x2 or a 2x2, fairly close. He's off the line of scrimmage, and since he's off the line of scrimmage, he still can run the ball and go out for pass patterns and go in motion. And so it's this wing back player position on offense is very common in a single wing offense, double wing offense, or wing T type offenses. And usually you'll see them go in a lot of motions. And also, I talked about the D gap earlier. It puts this weird pressure on the defense between the tight end and the wing back in that dog gap. So wing back is kind of special on run plays, especially kind of stretch short sweeps and sweeps at that wing back area there, and off tackle. The last, term for 13 is second level. You hear that term, and that's really talking about the linebacker level on defense, which is 3 to 5 yards off the line of scrimmage behind the defensive lineman. So you can say, well, Mike or Dick Buckus was at the second level linebacker, and so that's what they're talking about. He's at a second level at the linebacker position. Or you could have, the DN dropped into the second level from the line of scrimmage, and that's what they're talking about, is he's dropping back into kind of a linebacker position there. And so I think that's it. So we went over angle block, A gap, B gap, C gap, D gap, E gap, backdoor block, POA, sniffer, waggle, wham, wingback, and second level. Hope you liked all those terms. If you did, great. Really appreciate it. Give me a like. Here's some sources that I've looked at: Football Handbook, Coaching Football in the Split T, of course, my site, coachparker.org, youthfootballcoachingtips.com, Wikipedia, American Football Database, rookieroad.com football, NFL, pro tips at dickssportinggoods.com. Some this week were Delaware Wing Team Running Game by Raymond and Kimsky, Modern Techniques in the Wing T by Carboni, and Play Football the NFL Way by Tom Bass. All of those books and sources are great. I am a big believer in getting old football books and going through those. Support those authors if you get a chance, including myself. I've got Playbooks over at coachparker.org. If you want to support me monetarily, I've got 14 playbooks now, not just the beast offense and 6-2 defense. I've got new selected youth football play series, Wishbone Eye, Power Eye, Single Wing, and just got out the Double Wing book, and also did an offensive line drills book. So there's a lot of new stuff over there if you haven't been over in a while, so check that out. So hope you enjoyed the video. Again, please subscribe. It's free. If you want to support me that way, that's great. Just subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff that really helps out. So please subscribe. Again, this was Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. Thanks for joining me today and taking a listen. And remember, play for fun and winning is funner. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.